Mr. Deming.
Thank you, Councilmember Che, Councilmember Allen, and members of the committee. Thank you for convening this important hearing today. My name is Bruce Deming, and I am the bike lawyer. For more than 20 years now, my law practice has been devoted exclusively to representing the victims of bicycle and pedestrian crashes, principally in the District of Columbia and surrounding jurisdictions. Let me say at the outset, I am not a transportation policy expert. What I am is an advocate for cycling safety and an advocate for the victims of horrific accidents that happen all too often in the District of Columbia. My job is to help my clients recover from the pain and suffering they endure when their vulnerable bodies, flesh and bone, are impacted by multi-ton vehicles with horrific consequences. The pain they endure in these crashes is often long-term and is multidimensional in its effects. Not only do my clients suffer immense physical pain, but they suffer emotional and financial pain as well, as you've heard today. On the emotional side, we see PTSD, depression, family and marital disruption, opioid addiction, and countless other maladies that all too often result from being struck in a crash. On the financial side, we see the impact of unpaid medical bills, credit disruption, lost wages, long-term loss of earning capacity, and even bankruptcy. Unfortunately, I have seen it all repeatedly. Vision Zero is a laudable goal, and I commend your embrace of it, but ultimately it is the actions you take that count. My time is limited, so I will give you 3 proposed actions that, in my opinion, will substantially improve the safety of our most vulnerable road users. None of them will be popular among certain constituents. All of them, I submit, will save lives, and therefore I ask that you exercise the political leadership to do them anyway. Number 1, prohibit right turn on red during the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in high-density areas, especially in the downtown business district. Number 2, consider significantly enhanced penalties for certain traffic violations, especially failure to yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. The current fine of $75 is a joke. I strongly encourage you to focus and prioritize intersection safety as you allocate resources going forward. Number 3, deploy red light cameras, see how they work, and continue to improve the deployment of speed cameras and resist opposition to their use. It's an honor to appear before you today, and on behalf of my clients, past, present, and unfortunately future, I thank you for your attention to these important issues.
Thank you all, and thank you very much. The idea that we could probably do a lot if we would just stop people from driving, less driving, fewer cars, and that's a proven measure, so we should figure out ways to do that, multiple ways to do that. Can I ask you, though, Mr. Deming, have you seen any change in your practice after we passed the legislation on liability?
I have seen significant benefits from that, Councilmember Che, and I was remiss in not thanking all of the members of the council for supporting that important legislation. Okay. I've seen a number of instances in my practice involving cases in D.C. where victims of significant crashes have been compensated that probably would not have been were it not for the passage of that important legislation.
Well, thank you for that, because, you know, we don't always get a chance to have opportunities to find out how legislation is working. I mean, this is all about that in any event, but that particular piece of legislation. So I don't have any further questions for the panel.